Welcome to our Asian Star Trend channel. Today we have the following news. Hope you and your friend Zhao Zhendong's new drama Zuo Yi's first stills are released. Can the supremacy of appearance shake the depth of the plot? She's Not Obedient, the short drama pairing that's breaking the internet with charm, chaos, and chemistry. The moment stills from She's Not Obedient dropped, the internet lit up like a live wire. At the heart of this frenzy, Zhao Zhendong and Zuo Yi, two rising stars whose looks alone could carry a series, but whose unexpected on-screen chemistry goes far beyond surface appeal. In a world where short dramas fight for attention by the minute, this pairing delivers what viewers crave most: emotional connection wrapped in stylish unpredictability. One moment, they're bickering with comedic timing sharp enough to slice through silence. The next, a single glance between them leaves viewers breathless, their hearts echoing lines never spoken. Social media became a battleground of praise. A match made in drama heaven, one commenter wrote. Another simply put, their CP energy breaks the fourth wall. From witty banter to quiet vulnerability, Zuo Yi's rebellious charm plays perfectly off Zhao Zhendong's cool restraint, making every scene electric. But this isn't just a love story or visual feast, it's a lesson in how authenticity can be the most addictive special effect. Between the scripted tension and spontaneous sparks, the show leaves audiences laughing, tearing up, and maybe even texting that one person they haven't talked to in a while. She's Not Obedient reminds us that a good story doesn't just entertain, it stirs something. And in a scroll-happy world, that might just be the rarest magic of all: beauty versus substance. Why She's Not Obedient may be 2025's most surprising short drama triumph. Screenshots alone were enough to send the fandom radar spinning. Zhao Zhendong's razor-cut silhouette beside Zuo Yi's mischievous smirk, twin magnets of visual perfection. Predictably, comment sections erupted with cries of "looks or justice." Yet the louder the chorus, the more nagging question lingers: can a show built on pretty faces stay upright once the initial sugar rush fades? What She's Not Obedient does, almost slyly, is flip that conversation on its head. True, Zuo's sculpted features give his secretive anti-hero an irresistible chill, and Zuo's live-wire energy makes rebellion feel couture. But beneath the glossy frames lies a narrative that toys with, then detonates. Our Faith in Appearances Episode 1 opens with a farcical meet-cute coffee spilled, egos bruised plate for belly laughs. By the midpoint, punchlines are traded for knife-sharp dialogue about ambition, privilege, and the masks people wear to survive. When Zuo's character finally cracks a smile, it lands like an earthquake precisely because we've spent 20 minutes wondering if he even owns the facial muscles. Moments later, Zuo's swagger collapses into a raw confession that catches both her co-star and the audience off guard. Humor to heartbreak, swagger to vulnerability, the tonal whiplash feels deliberate, a reminder that depth can hide in plain sight. Social feeds, once fixated on bone structure, now buzz about plot twists and buried traumas. The takeaway? Pretty packaging may earn the crucial first click, but emotional resonance earns the rewatch and the late-night group chat. By the final frame, the show leaves viewers with an itch to examine their own snap judgments. In an age of endless scrolling, She's Not Obedient proves that true staying power lies not in symmetry but in the stories that refuse to play by the rules. Much like its mesmerizing, maddening heroine reheated tropes or reinvented sparks, Why She's Not Obedient challenges more than just authority. Let's be honest, this cold CEO falls for the rebellious girl setup. We've seen it. From Meteor Garden to every variant of The President Fell in Love with Me, the formula is older than the trope itself. So when She's Not Obedient dropped with a premise that sounds like deja vu on repeat, skepticism was more than fair. Do audiences really need another reheated love story, dressed in new outfits but telling the same tale? Many would argue, yes, if the leads are beautiful enough. If the faces can break the algorithm, who cares about the plot? They say beauty is king, but here's the thing: relying solely on looks is cinematic fast food. It satisfies briefly, then disappears without trace. She's Not Obedient, however, dares to use the familiar as camouflage. It sets you up to expect fluff, then quietly hands you a scalpel. What begins as stereotype the icy, controlled male-led, and the firecracker heroine evolves into something sharper. Zhao Zhendong's CEO isn't just rich and aloof, he's emotionally stunted, hiding behind power because vulnerability terrifies him. Zuo Yi's bad girl isn't the trope in leather, she's intelligent, scarred, and actively resisting the role society keeps casting her in. The show doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, it questions why the wheel spins the way it does. Beneath the sparkling visuals and snappy dialogue lies a subtle rebellion against genre fatigue, against shallow storytelling, and against the assumption that we'll always settle for style over substance. In short, She's Not Obedient might just be the most obediently disobedient drama this year, giving audiences what they expect, then challenging them to ask why they expected it in the first place. Beyond labels and looks, why She's Not Obedient must mean more than just not playing nice. A truly excellent drama should do more than just entertain the senses. It should stir the soul, provoke thought, and leave behind more than a lingering image of the lead's perfect jawline. If, after binge-watching a series, all we retain is a memory of someone's face, then what separates that show from mass-produced saccharine fluff? Sweet but hollow. Take the title She's Not Obedient. It immediately evokes images of bold, uncontainable women, rule breakers, boundary pushers, icons of rebellion. But we must ask, what does not obedient actually mean in a meaningful sense? Is it merely dyed hair and distressed jeans, a carefully crafted aesthetic of rebellion that's safe, stylish, and ultimately hollow? Or does it signify a woman who questions systems, pushes back against power, and claims agency over her own life even when it's messy, uncomfortable, or inconvenient? Too often, today's screen heroines are sold under the guise of rebellion but packaged in clichés. The CEO, the Ice Queen, the puppy boyfriend. Modern dramas have become obsessed with easy labels, preloaded with expectations, designed for instant recognition. It's a shortcut that robs characters of depth, trading nuance for mass appeal. The challenge and opportunity for She's Not Obedient lies in resisting that pull. To be truly not obedient is to reject the safety of formula. It's to give us a heroine whose defiance is not a costume, but a conviction. It's to risk complexity over clarity. If this drama dares to go there beyond the glossy facade, past the tropes, into something raw and resonant, it could be more than just another guilty pleasure. It could be a story that stays with us, long after the final frame fades to black. Can She's Not Obedient break free from the beauty trap and say something real? The obsession with character types in today's dramas, whether it's the domineering CEO, the rebellious girl, or the soft-spoken puppy boyfriend, reveals more than just market trends. It reflects a deeper social mindset. Many viewers admire these constructed personas, secretly yearning to be that confident, that bold, that untouchable. But constrained by fear, limitations, or circumstance, they settle for watching instead of becoming. Fiction becomes comfort. Fantasy becomes escape. This is precisely why creators must shoulder greater responsibility. It's not enough to claim that this is what audiences want. That excuse glosses over the industry's passive surrender to algorithms and virality. Instead of chasing the next hashtag, what if more creators took the harder path, carving out characters with flesh, flaws, and fire? What if short dramas, with their tight budgets and tighter runtimes, were treated as canvases for craft instead of content churn? Ironically, it's the low-cost, high-speed world of short dramas that's now leading the charge. Stripped of bloated filler, their fast pacing and sharp hooks tap directly into the rhythm of modern viewing habits. But the question remains, how do you tell a story worth remembering when you only have 10 minutes per episode? She's Not Obedient stands at this very crossroads. Will it settle for being a pretty package of familiar tropes and surface-level sass? Or will it dare to be genuinely not obedient, challenging conventions, digging deeper into identity, and inviting reflection? Audiences today are sharper than ever. They crave something more, something real. If this drama can balance style with substance, commentary with chemistry, it might just rise above the noise. For now, we watch, we wait, and we hope. After all, a truly great story doesn't just reflect its time, it questions it.